On recording here. Perfect. It is Migraine Strategy Call Day. It is Thursday. I am Debbie Waidl. I'm a certified migraine health coach specialist here to help you find your migraine freedom without having to manage your pain, but actually learn how to get to the root cause of your pain so that you no longer have it. And I'm super excited to have a special guest here today. Helen is joining us all the way from the UK, across the pond, to share her experience with us. So Helen, thanks for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So please, as we are chatting, everyone, please be interactive in chat. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I have Valentina, one of my team members over there, ready to help you out. I will do my best to keep an eye on chat as well, but let's jump right in and get started. So Helen, before we get started, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself so that everybody knows who you are and who they're listening to today?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, Debbie. I'm Helen Bayliss. I live in Camberley in the southeast of England with my husband and two daughters, aged 12 and 14. I'm a stay-at-home mum after working as a business analyst for British Airways for 17 years. I love traveling with my family, and I'm looking forward to a trip to visit friends in Australia later this summer. I enjoy learning everything I can about health and well-being, spending as much time as I can outdoors, and being creative, trying different crafts, currently focusing on fused glass art. I joined the programme in November 21, having been a member of the Women's Migraine Freedom Group since July 2020. I'm 47 years old, and I've suffered with migraine since I was 8 years old.
That is long enough.
Yes, certainly.
That is long enough. Oh man. So when I met you, I remember one of the first things that that we talked about was how many things you had tried, how many things you had done, and I could tell the minute you and I were talking that you were like, all right, I think she's a little crazy. I can't imagine how she could possibly help me. So let's kind of go into what you have tried over the years and, how much you've kind of spent on what you've been doing to try to end your migraines, because it was a pretty long list of things you tried.
It certainly was, Debbie. So I think trying to quantify it last night, I was trying to put a number on it, and I think it's probably in excess of £6,000 I've spent on various treatments, supplements, testing, equipment, classes, and that sort of went to chiropractors, osteopaths, physios, massage, acupuncture, over-the-counter medicines, prescription medicines, nutritional clinic, allergy testing, blood tests, going caffeine, dairy, alcohol, gluten, sugar-free. Tried the SIBO diet as well, various gum and teeth shields for TMJ and tape and cream to stop me mouth breathing at night. Personal training, Pilates, yoga, Alexander technique, investigated thyroid issues, sinus issues, hormone issues, vagus nerve stimulation, and even trained in biomagnetism.
Man, did you breathe in there? Who was counting? How many things was that?
It's a long list.
Write a list so you'd remember them all. But isn't it amazing all the things that we try, and it gets exhausting. So how did that impact your life, with your kids and your spouse and just you having to constantly try something else?
I think overall, it's the time it takes to research everything. You can spend hours on Google looking for the latest thing, and then you think you found it, you try it, you might get some short-term relief, but then you cope with the disappointment when it doesn't turn into anything long-term.
Yeah.
So it does have a significant impact, and all the time suffering migraines that lead to you missing out on family time.
Absolutely. And I love how you mentioned that disappointment, because I just did a training before this and we were talking about how stress can actually cause more inflammation than inflammatory food. And we know that stress is at the root of migraines. And when you constantly get disappointed like that, that's a stressor. That is 100% a stressor to your body, that letdown feeling. So you went through all that, you tried all those things. Why do you think that those things never fully brought you there, right? Like, I'm sure some of those things took a little of the pain away, took a little of the edge off, helped a little bit, but why did they never get you to where you wanted to be?
I think it was the fact that it never sort of took it all together. So I think what the Freedom from Migraine method did was put a lot of the things I'd tried together for the first time and showed me how it's not just one thing that brings about migraine freedom. It very much took the time to build up the knowledge and allowed the penny to drop that it's an individual combination of factors for each person that builds the buffer to bring about your migraine freedom. So it gave me the knowledge and therefore the power to understand and manage my migraines much better. So a lot of the stuff that I've done has fed into the Freedom from Migraine method and has brought it all together. But that's the bit that was missing.
Absolutely, because you had knowledge. I mean, you came with so much knowledge into the group. And, you know, we almost in the beginning kind of work with you a little differently than some people, right, who are brand new, who hadn't done as much. But because you had that, and then you took what we brought in with our protocol, I think you were able to really create this freedom journey that was going to bring you there so much faster because of having all that. So I can't imagine what it felt like though. So you and I chatted, like it was probably 2 years ago, right? It was probably over 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was around about summer 2020 we first chatted.
Okay. So we first chatted and Helen's like, nah, I don't think this is right for me, which is totally understandable, right? You, like you said, you tried a million things and you're just like, I'm not really sure this is going to be anything different. But then fast forward, you know, to last year, something happened. You decided, okay, I'm really going to give this a shot. What did that feel like to take a chance on someone that you had originally had said, no, I don't think this is going to work. Someone you found on Facebook, someone that can't promise you, because I remember you asking me if I could give you 100% guarantee. And
Worth the ask.
yeah, and why I would love to, right? I would love to give everyone a guarantee, but I can't guarantee what you're doing. I can't guarantee, you know, what someone's putting into the program. Plus, we can't guarantee what health issues that we don't know are hidden, right? Though I'm saying that, I know in the Freedom from Migraine, we have an amazing track record of supporting women, but what did that feel like for you to take that leap?
I think it was quite scary. I was skeptical, as you know. It seemed too good to be true. You were promising me what I wanted, but it was then quite an investment and a leap of faith to take it. But I ran out of options. And I think it was watching videos like this of women that had success, and I wanted the same.
Yeah. And I love that. And that's why we do these videos, right? You know, we do it so that we do give that hope. And it's so kind of all of you to take that time. Because I know once you start getting that taste of migraine freedom, it's like, I just want to go live my life. So I appreciate you taking a half an hour out of your time today to share that with everyone else. So what was that decision? What was that thing that, you know, was it because you just had nothing else to try? Or was there a moment that you remember that it was like, all right, I got to do this. I got to try Freedom from Migraine method.
I think from having spoken to you, it always stayed in the back of my mind as something that was there as an option. And as you know, I sort of followed in the group, bit stalker-like for a long time. And then that summer, which was summer 2020, it was summer 21, wasn't it? Yeah, I sort of got through it, but I'd only got through it by ramping up my over-the-counter medication again. Okay. I'd been prescribed sumatriptan when I came off amitriptyline. I thought I'd found my answer, as it was amazing to find something that could stop the pain so quickly. However, the rebound headaches became frequent and I couldn't get any more than 3 days without pain. And it just got to the point where I knew, looking into stuff I was looking at for gut health and everything, I knew it wasn't doing me any good taking all the medication. Yes. And it was sort of the last hope of, well, let's see. Because a lot of the videos were similar stories of people taking a lot of medication and coming off it. So it just got to that point where I thought, for my health, I had to do it.
Yeah, and I think we forget about that, right? We take the meds, and I took them. So anybody watching right now who thinks I'm anti-med, that's not what I'm saying. I took them, I did it 10 years, tons and tons and tons. But we forget that every single pill we take comes with a consequence. And while in the moment, when you're having a migraine, of course, you're going to take that pill and you don't think about the consequence, but eventually we do have to stop to think, okay, every pill we take brings us closer to rebound, brings that migraine coming back closer and closer, but it also starts bringing on other health issues. And like you mentioned, Helen, it impacts our gut. It makes a big difference in our gut. And now we have this whole other slew of issues. Not only do we have migraines, now we have gut health issues. we have leaky gut, which can in turn impact anxiety and depression and so many other things, open us up for autoimmunity and so many other issues. So it's wonderful when we can find something that will slowly start allowing us to start reducing the meds. So please, again, disclaimer here, everyone, do not go out and stop taking your medication today based on anything I have said. Please make sure you only do that when consulting with the doctor, and do not do so until your body is ready to do so. Because I really, that's part of our protocol. We don't even look about reducing medication until we get way into the protocol, until your body is starting to heal and is ready to do so. So Helen, I know over the years I had massive regrets when it came to my migraines along the way. Do you have any regrets in regards to your journey and how things went for you with migraines?
I think just that I didn't find you sooner. So in as much as I would have joined 15 months earlier, at that time where I'd first spoken to you, all I needed to know was that it would work for me, but I was scared of investing the money and time if it didn't give me results. I was scared of the disappointment. But with its foundational approach, FFNM gave me the tools to reduce my migraines. Before, I was very much controlled by my migraines and living in fear of them coming, each day waking up thinking, am I going to have one or not? Is it going to spoil events? Not planning things.
Yeah.
Now I realize that everyone's migraine freedom journey is unique to them. And the magic of your method is that it caters for this. So I think you'll remember I asked a question in the group around getting more backstories on people and the specifics of what worked for them. Yep. And actually it's relevant because yes, you can get the positivity from hearing those stories, but everyone's journey is different. And that's the amazing thing about your program, that it actually gives you the information for you, because you know your body best, to work out which bits you need for your migraine freedom.
I totally forgot you asked me that question. As soon as you started saying it, I'm like, oh, and I remember how I responded too. And it was pretty much like that. And you weren't very happy with the response at the time. You're like, but I just want examples. Give me somebody's story and let me copy it. I'm like, well, sure you can, but you're still going to have migraines. Yeah. Right. Because that's what Google is. That's what your doctor's office is. That's what the migraine books are. As much as I would love to write a book that's actually like on my bucket list of things to do, when I write a book, it is not going to be a migraine how-to, because it can't be. Yeah. It's going to be a migraine hope. Here are the stories of the women that were just like you, showing different stories. Because I think that's the part that's important, right? Is we can come on and do these calls like this because everybody learns a little. They how do I want to say this? You shared what your life is like so they can say, oh, I'm married. I have kids too. I kind of like some of the same thing Helen does. Oh, okay. So that means that there is hope for me, that I can give that a try. We didn't actually kind of touch on this, Helen, but if you don't mind, if I throw one, curveball at you and ask you a little question. When you joined, your life kind of went to hell in a handbag after you joined the program. And you had a lot going on, so here you are you're like, oh my God, I just spent this money. I got to do this program, but I have massive things going on, because I hear this all the time. I don't have time now. I'm busy. I got stuff going on. How was that for you, trying to deal with a major upheaval and trying to end your migraines? If you don't mind sharing.
It's hard, but it showed it could be done. So yeah, I ended up having surgery within the first month, which I didn't realize I was going to need when I first joined the program. So I had a hysterectomy and then all the recovery that went with it while trying to do that. Plus we were in the middle of a major extension on our house. So there was builders everywhere and noise and dust and all the rest of it. When I was listening to calls, it was often putting it on mute so you wouldn't hear the builders in the background. And your support during my recovery on top of the program was amazing.
So I'm assuming that means you're glad you didn't wait till after.
Yes, definitely.
And it's hard though, right? Because I totally get it. I actually, I think about this quite a bit before I take on something new, whether it's health or, whatever. I'm like, can I manage that? Can I do that now? But I think sometimes we do ourselves a disservice because we're waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect opportunity.
There's never a perfect moment.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't have like a spare $50,000 sitting in my bank account, to go do what I want to do. I don't have a spare 5 hours in my day. It's never going to happen in my life. So if it's something that I want and something that's that important to me, I've just learned I have to make it work. Like you did. You made it work.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. So while I check comments and see if anybody has any comments over there, is there anything additional that you would like to share with the ladies watching now? Share about kind of maybe why you waited so long to join, and if you had that magic mirror, to see 4 months in the future, what you would have done differently?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's just like, I think as I said to you, I played back one of your messages, which you'd said to me, over the years, you've done all the right pieces. We've had this conversation. You've done so many things that are right. And now you're taking all those and putting them together into something that works for you, because you're just missing small pieces of the puzzle. And I think what I think of that now is that you were so right, because with hindsight, the freedom from migraine method was a significant missing piece in my migraine freedom journey. I'll be forever grateful to your program for giving me so much hope for the future, where my life is no longer limited by migraines or fear of them. What I can say is the course does work, and there's never a right time to go for it, so choose now. I had major surgery and building work during the course and still found success. The investment in freedom from migraine method has paid off, and the only regret is that I didn't sign up with Debbie sooner. It really does work, and it is a case of just having belief in Debbie and her team. They are amazing, and if you work at it, you will get results.
Well, thank you. And you did work hard, really. And that is the key, right? That kind of goes back to when we were talking about a guarantee. I can guarantee you that, and I think I said this to you, I can guarantee you that I will show up 100%, that I will,
Which you did.
Heaven and earth to make sure that if we're not having success, that we figure out why, so that you can get it. If you have a setback, we will figure that out. So that's the guarantee I can give everyone. It doesn't matter what kind of migraine you have, doesn't matter what other health conditions you have, what other things you're presenting with. That's why we jump on, a quick Zoom call to make sure I can help you. Because if I can, I'm going to be honest, and there are.
I gave you plenty of challenges.
Yeah, you definitely. How many times did I say that to you? I'm good.
I tried to defeat you, but I couldn't. You kept your word.
I think I said that to you quite a few weeks in a row. I'm not really bored this week, Helen. I'm really not. But it makes me a better coach, and it gives me more tools that I can use to support other women. So while I love the women that I have joked with them and say, your case is boring, we're just going to whip you right through and they're great, it is amazing to have someone like you who has some wrenches thrown into their life. I apologize you had to have those. I'm not, I wish you didn't, but it only just makes this a stronger protocol to be able to help people. So thanks for taking one for the team, Helen. Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you taking the time to share your story with everyone. Helen was actually very kind to give me a little bit more background on her story that we've kind of put together in writing. So as soon as I can, I'm going to upload that and make sure that it is in comments for everyone, so you can take a look at that later. And if you do have any further questions about Helen's story, or about how maybe the things that she worked on could actually help you find your migraine freedom, please just comment Helen in the comments below, and Valentina or a member of the team will reach out to you as soon as possible to get you moving on your migraine freedom journey. All right, everybody, next week is going to be an actual training to be determined. So make sure you don't miss that call. It'll be at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here in the Women's Migraine Freedom Group. And we will announce hopefully over the weekend what that specific training is going to be. I'm actually going to go back and see what all of you asked for and what the majority of you are looking for. And that is the training that I will hold Thursday. So I know this is going to resonate with so many. Helen, again, thank you so much for your time. It is a pleasure watching you enjoy your life, and don't be a stranger.
Thanks, Debbie.
All right, everybody, have a great day. Here's to your migraine freedom. See you next week.